Hello there, and welcome to Worthing Hospital. There's nothing wrong with me, by the way. I've not had anything checked or anything. I just went into Worthing, done some shopping, went home and realised I was thirsty, so I popped into the little shop in the hospital to get a drink. This, by the way, is the back entrance. No jokes, please, because I've heard them all. I'll show you Homeville Park while I'm there. Okay, as I promised, this is Homeville Park. Have you got a good look at it? I hope so, because I'm turning around, because this is the opposite way to the way I want to go home. I'm going this way. Now, the reason you had those big cuts there is because there's lots of people around, or there was something when I started recording. It's funny, really. You can stand around there for ages, you're not seeing a single person. Press the record button on your phone and suddenly everyone wants to walk by. And I like to be polite to people. As I said, this is the back entrance to Worthing Hospital. The front entrance is a lot more glamorous. I won't really show you because it's, it's a hospital. Nobody really wants to see that. Now, the point of the video, and it's not just me making a joke about being at the back entrance of a hospital or anything. So I just want to have a quick talk. I want to get stuff off my mind. And hopefully this wind doesn't make it too difficult. It's been nice and perfectly still until about now, really. This is a real shame. But hopefully it will be alright. If you don't see this video, then you'll know. But if you are seeing it, then it's fine. And if you're not seeing this video, then you wouldn't know this happened anyway. Chances are I wouldn't mention it. Now, lately, as I've been seeing videos, I've always getting attacked by the intrusive thoughts, the dreaded thoughts, the dark thoughts, whatever you want to flipping call them. And I'm doing okay. Although they do linger about sometimes. And the sad fact is, I've come to accept this as part of life, This is part of my battle. As a person who struggles with mental health, I'm going to get bad days, I'm going to have bad moments. It's a sad reality to anyone like me, or maybe yourself too. Maybe you too have problems with your mental health and you struggle. Oh, in case you're wondering, it is actually me. Normally I show it at the beginning, but I completely forgot. But I'd just like to make sure you actually know it is me. But I think looking at what I'm looking at roughly, is roughly better than looking at me, And I think it's just on the rain. Flip it. Oh well. We shall persist. Now, to go back to what I was talking about, the bad days, the good days, and all that other stuff. I want to talk about the things that are positive in my life right now. Because it stands for me as a reminder of the progress I'm actually making in this battle. Because this is a hard battle, and if I'm honest, it's one I'm going to be fighting all my life. So I want to do some bragging today. Hopefully do some bragging, because if it starts raining, you won't see me walking for much longer. But anyway, I shall worry about that when it gets really hard. No jokes, please. Anyway, this is the first week when I've done 5 laps of my 5.2k run. Now, the reason you have a 0.2 at the end of the 5 is that just happens to be the route I'm taking. I like to do 2 laps, which are 2.6k each, which makes 5.2, according to Google Maps this is. I'm not going to show you the route, obviously, because I don't want you people knowing where I live. No offence, of course. But this is the first week I've been able to do all 5 days without getting rained off. And it feels really good. And today I made my record time, which I'm really, really happy with. It will be on the screen about now. Now, obviously that's not the best time anyone's ever done a 5.2 in, but it's really good on my behalf, I think. And I'm very happy about that, and I think about that. I've been thinking about that today, really, because sometimes dark thoughts do overtake, and I find that sometimes they strike when you least expect them to. Sometimes it's when you're feeling really good about yourself. That's a nice old building. Well, it's nice as you get in Worthing, you don't get much else. There's this little street in town which is really nice, which I actually went to and made a little video about on my travel channel, which is now inactive. Because as you know, my travel videos get put onto this channel. Helps with the doing something and making a video every other day thing. You know what, I think this rain's going to hold off. That's good, and the wind seems to have died down as well. So that's another good thing. Now, another thing that is good, apart from it's related to fitness, is the fact that I am losing weight. I do have a commenter, they know who they are. If they want to name them, I won't name them personally, but if they want to make themselves known in the comments, go ahead, I don't mind. I always leave these things up to the individual, you know, who often tells me I've lost weight. And I've said this to them, but there's some people coming. Now, as I was saying, not that you'll know I was gone because, you know, editing and all. So I have one commentator who does tell me how great I'm actually doing and how they see the difference that I can't see. And that makes me really happy. Because if this person notices, then it means that I am actually making a difference to myself at least. I like to think I'm making a difference to other people, or I will one day at least. Now, I may just run past this person, so... Ooh, this is handy. Right, back on my own now. I try not to get too personal in these things. Now, as I was saying, this one commenter has noticed how well I'm doing on this journey. They've noticed I feel better about things. They've noticed that I've lost weight. And I'm certainly fitter than I used to be. So that's a really, really good thing. And it makes me happy. I try to think about that a lot. How I am doing better, and that makes me feel better. I mean, I remember I mentioned in a previous video, I forget which one, so there'll be no thumbnail on the screen, but I am handling my mental problems a lot better now. It's like I used to get really, really depressed, and I'd just feel depressed the entire day, and I'd just sink into myself and just stay like that for the day, and sometimes cry myself to sleep. Which I've done more times than I care to count sometimes. Although this is really the first time I've really started to do something about it. But it goes to show that the power to change is within me. I think it's within most of us, really. I mean, most of you watching now, of course, I'm not going to judge individuals who can't, who find this a lot harder than me, okay, because this is not an even playing field, okay, we're not all, the battle is the same, but the conditions are not, and I'm not going to judge anyone, okay, who struggles with it a lot more than what I do. But I do hope you do overcome your difficulties and your bad feelings, I really do. But the more I think about it, the happier I feel about it, you know. This makes me really good. And I'm back. Now, in case you're wondering, I crossed the road and then I turned off a side road because there's a school nearby and there's quite a few people about. And I always like to be polite in these things and try not to record other people. Okay, sometimes that's hard, easier said than done. I mean, technically the law says I can just film in public, I think. I'm not sure where the law stands on this, actually. I'm pretty certain I can just film and someone passing by is just someone passing by. But I still like to be conscientious of how other people feel about things, which is something I've always prided myself on. I've always said there's nothing wrong with looking at how others feel. And that's something I think people should do now more. I wish more people had done that, because there's a lot of people who don't. I've noticed nowadays a lot of people will say, I don't care how you feel, I'm going to do my thing. Now, of course, I'm not saying you should bend over for other people, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to be nice, you know? Sometimes it doesn't hurt just to say, you know, I'm going to not do that thing you don't like, because we're human beings, and human beings should do these things for each other sometimes. Well, in my opinion, they should anyway. Now, to get back to the original subject, of course, the things that I want to brag about. So, the next thing I want to brag about is that I'm actually getting better at this speaking thing. Now, sometimes it's hard to tell. And sometimes I will admit I am slightly struggling now, because I'm struggling, sometimes I do struggle to put things into words. But my speaking as a whole has improved. So those reading videos have actually turned out to be a really good thing. Because admittedly, when they first started, it was partly to keep my hands, but it's also so I could say I've actually read the book. So I admittedly do find it hard to read at times. I love reading, but I find it very hard to concentrate on these things. I've always struggled with concentration thinking about it, but I think that's a subject really for another video. Poor thing. Always breaks my heart when I see a post like that. Because you know, chances are, it's just an accident. It's just some stroke of bad luck. And they can't talk to us. So they have no way of saying I'm lost and I miss my family. So you've got to rely on other people. Anyway, I got distracted again. Ironically, I got distracted while I was talking about, you know, not getting distracted by things. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, as I was saying, this whole mental health thing, I'm actually getting really good at this now. And I'm feeling so much better about myself. And this makes me happy beyond words, you know. I mean, sometimes I don't feel happy. Sometimes I feel absolutely flipping miserable. But most of the time I feel better. I really can't remember last time I had like a really long bad episode about these things. You know? It's really uplifting to know that I am in fact getting better at life. I mean, I've still got a hell of a long way to go yet. But I'm getting there. And that's the important thing. It's like I said in a previous video, I do believe in starts. Starts are seriously important, you know? Really, really freaking important. Because once you start, see, that's the thing. It's like my jogging. When I started last year, I was only doing like a fraction of the distance I'm jogging now. I know some people get better at it quicker than I do, but I don't care. I'm making progress in my time, and that makes me really, really happy. Unless, of course, I go home, start to edit this video and find out the wind has made me inaudible. In which case I'll be really, really annoyed. So hopefully it'll all work out. But if it does, then if the wind does ruin this video, then it's not a lot I can do about it. But if you're watching this, then you know it's worked out, or I've decided that the audio quality is good enough. Now, before I finish this video, because there's so many things I can brag about, I do find bragging quite a hard thing to do. I will say that I will be getting a new phone at some point. So one day, the video quality of these videos might just dramatically improve. I say might. Depends on the phone I get. The selection of mobile phones nowadays seems to have gone really down. Half the brands you used to be able to get, you can't get. It's like, I used to have a Huawei phone. That was really good. Can't get them now. This current phone is a OnePlus Nord. I don't see them about anymore either. I mean, one of the reasons I went to Aylmore was to look at phones, but all I want is a cheap monthly contract. doesn't have too much internet on it. This shop is about 1,000,000 years old. I remember that being there when I was a child. One day it will disappear, and a bit of Worthing's history will die. Anyway, as I was saying, what I want is a cheap monthly contract. At the moment I'm with Tesco's. I get 1 gig of internet, limited calls and limited texts for about £9 a month at the moment, which is pretty good, I think. Although I don't really get the use of the calls or texts. I do get to use the 1 gig internet, you know, and it allows me to check social media even though I shouldn't, and navigation, which sometimes doesn't take up half as much data as you think it would. That nice house. I'm walking past, so I won't record too much. Anyway, as I was saying, the deals they have now are not as good. So, thank you. So, anyway, as I was saying, deals they have now are not quite as good. It's like the decent one they have is about £18. It comes with 3 gig of internet, and that 3 gig is the minimum you can get. You know, you can't get 1 or 2 or even half. It's 3 or more, which really annoys me. And I don't use that much internet because I know I could watch YouTube and things like that when I'm on the road, but I don't really want to. What I mainly want is to be able to check emails and, you know, get directions for when I go places and I get lost, which does happen sometimes. I ain't getting better at navigation, I think. Because the last couple of times I've tried to go places, I've said I'm not going to get there using my phone if I don't have to, and sometimes I've actually managed it, which I think is really good. Now, I'm going to finish this here because it's quite windy now. So, just want you all know that I'm incredibly grateful that each and single one of you has joined me on this journey. I really am. I hope you all stay, and if you're on your own journey, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, make a vlog about it. Tell us about it. Tell us what you're doing. You know? Start your own journey. Let me join you if you want. As I was saying, let me join you on your journey if you're going on one. I mean, these things are better with other people, and if you don't want me there, you can start your own little vlog, talk about things, and, you know, you might make your own friends. I've made one good friend on this channel already so far. And it's really nice. Because they're going through a mental health journey. And if you're watching, you know who you are. I think that you should vlog. I'm serious, you should. You should start your own vlog. And just talk about things, you know. It's much better. It's really good for the soul, this is. So I've been doing this channel for about a year now. When I failed to turn my life around, and I've partially turned it around. And I say the word partially, I mean, I've made a start, which is the main thing. I mean, I said earlier, I'll probably never ever be truly happy, and that is a sad fact. But it doesn't matter right now. Because at the moment I feel pretty good. And if I can keep this feeling of being okay up, then I'm going to be okay. And if I can do it, I think most of you can do it too. So, as I am actually going to leave you this time, and I did say I would. So please people, take care of yourselves. And do remember, I love each and every single one of you who is with me here. So, bye. There we go. Let me turn this out.